A. Harvey is committed to safe working practices and a safe working environment. It is the responsibility of all employees, contractors, and visitors to comply with the safety and security policies and procedures that A. Harvey has established. It is our obligation to make safety and security a way of life and the workplace accident-free. A. Harvey recognizes its responsibility to ensure that industry, health, and safety standards, as well as legislative requirements, are met through the provision of adequate facilities, equipment, and procedures. By understanding the risks and the work methods we've developed to reduce risks, by practicing those standards every day, and by listening to you about safety concerns, A. Harvey will endeavor to make sure you return home without injury or incident. Welcome to the A. Harvey Marine Base. This is a multifunctional general cargo and offshore support marine terminal that employs the most advanced equipment and processes in the industry. The Marine Base property encompasses almost 13 acres of land, including 5 vessel berths. Going west to east, these berths are known as Piers 14, 15, and 16. The facility is registered under Transport Canada security regulations. It operates under the ISO 9001 quality system and is a registered oil handling facility. Before entering, it is imperative that we make you aware of important safety and operational guidelines. The Marine Base is regulated by the Canada Labour Code. It is in operation all year round and in all types of weather. Upon arriving at the base, everyone must check with the security office. It is essential that the security office be advised in advance of any traffic or personnel wishing to gain entry into our facility. Upon entering the base, carefully follow the outlined route and proceed as designated by security. Do not pass other vehicles on the base. A maximum of 20 kilometers per hour is the speed limit. This speed is strictly enforced. Failure to observe the speed limit or any other safety rule will mean restricted access to the base. When transiting on the base, the following must be observed. Use only the designated routes. Never walk through the base without personal protective equipment and/or being escorted. Smoking is not permitted. Smoke only in designated areas. Use of cell phones while driving is prohibited. Use of cell phones while walking in the facility must be done in a safe area. Consumption, possession, and otherwise being under the influence of alcohol or illicit drugs is strictly prohibited. Fighting, horseplay, practical jokes, and other interference with co-workers and drivers will not be tolerated. Theft, vandalism, or other abuse or misuse of freight or company property is prohibited. Personal protective equipment must be worn at all times while working in the terminal area. This includes hard hats, highly visible clothing, work gloves, safety footwear, safety glasses, and hearing protection must be used where required. Signs are posted throughout the area. They are there for your safety and must be observed. Various pieces of heavy equipment are constantly operating within the yard. At all times, they have the right of way. Traffic must be observed and their movements noted. Forklifts constantly operating within the yard are always in motion, and their drivers have restricted visibility. It is imperative that you never drive or walk under one of these units or a suspended load. It is imperative that you make direct eye contact with the equipment operator and proceed only when the operator gives a clear instruction. Eye contact with an equipment operator ensures that the intentions of all parties are noted and understood. A spotter guides the movement of the crane. Observe and obey their directions at all times. Never walk between containers. If it is necessary, advise a base supervisor who will direct you on the procedure. Any incident involving injury or potential injury must be reported to a supervisor immediately. Vehicles or personnel exiting the base must always stop at the security office. For your protection, the Marine Base has initiated a behavioral-based observation program called IDENT. To participate, simply take the IDENT cards with you during your visit. Notice the activities and conditions that surround you. The card allows persons to make general suggestions to improve our operations or the safety security program. Complete the card as directed and drop it into one of the collection boxes that are located in the operations office, the security kiosk, and the warehouse receiving desk. We encourage full participation by all visitors, contractors, vessel crews, and Marine Base employees. The program is intended for all persons working on or visiting our facility to identify both safe and unsafe acts or conditions. Evaluate the risks and hazards associated with what you have observed. Notify the person performing the act or a supervisor as to what you have identified and take the appropriate action. Describe what you see by filling out an ident card. Please, don't consider these cards as eyes to unsafe conditions, or as some call them, rat cards. They are there for your protection. Remember, all the safety precautions implemented at the Marine Base are in place for your safety. After all, there are others who want you to come home safely today.
In the event of an emergency, proceed to the nearest muster station and wait for directions from the Marine Base staff. Muster stations are located at the east and west security kiosks. Persons handling controlled products must be properly trained in the Workplace Hazardous Materials Information Systems, or WHMIS. Policy and procedure manuals provide information on the Canada Labour Code and company work practices. They are located in the operations office and warehouse receiving. For those requiring the use of the material safety data sheets, binders are located in the operations office, the receiving shipping warehouse, and the security kiosk. Eye-wash stations are located in the east and west security kiosks, operations front entrance, and the warehouse. An emergency shower is available and is located in the warehouse. Please report any first aid incidents to Marine Base staff. First aid kits are located in the east and west security kiosks, operations office, and the warehouse. An automated external defibrillator is located at the office. This must only be used by trained personnel. Marked with a sticker or sign, fire extinguishers are located throughout the base. Know their locations. Use the west gate when entering the facility. Here, your access pass will be verified. Proceed to your designated parking area. Remember, the speed limit is 20 kilometers per hour. Park as directed. Always back into the parking spot. Personal protective equipment must be worn while working on the Marine Base or on a vessel's deck. Gloves and safety glasses must be worn as required. For a new gang arriving at the Marine Base, a pre-shift briefing and safety meeting with the operations supervisor will take place before work commences. The purpose of this meeting is to highlight the work to be done, any safety advisories related to weather or cargo, and to provide an update on any safety-related issues. It also highlights the hazards and risks associated with the task at hand. All employees have the right to refuse unsafe work and to participate in the Workplace Joint Occupational Health and Safety Committee. At this time, all gang members are afforded the opportunity to express any safety issues or concerns. Gangs on standby are to remain in the lunchroom unless directed by the operations coordinator. Prior to loading, a supervisor must inspect containers and all other lifts. A signed and dated yellow tag indicates that the lift is approved for loading. Containers are color-coded to indicate their offshore destination. Traffic lanes must remain clear of containers. Slings and loose lifting gear are inspected at regular intervals. If approved for use, they are color-coded. Check with the operations office or the warehouse for the current color code. Damaged rigging is painted red and destroyed. All lifts are to be weighed as they are being taken off the vessel. The weight is to be recorded by the checker on the receiving report. While loads are being lifted on or off a vessel, personnel must remain clear of the danger area and on the opposite side of the intended swing and in sight of the crane operator. Remain in the safe area until the load has been moved on or off the vessel. Never walk under a moving lift. As the container is being lowered, move in once it's at knee height. Push the lift for landing purposes. Tubular lifts are to be guided by the tag line for final positioning. When working around loads that are in motion, the following must be performed. Always push the load, never pull. Do not hang from the hook when releasing it. Do not reach to hook a load. Hook at the correct height. Do not turn your view from the load once it is hooked. Walk to the safety area away from the load. Keep your eyes on the load as it is being transferred to the vessel. Avoid standing in the area in front of the crane while a suspended load is in motion. As a load is being placed, it is imperative that hands and feet remain clear of any crush or pinch zone. Working together as a team reduces the chance of injury when handling the hook. Any incident involving injury or potential injury must be reported to a supervisor immediately. Failure to make a report is grounds for disciplinary action. Removal of any material from the Marine base is prohibited unless it is recorded and authorized by an operations coordinator. This includes waste, wood, pallets, and scrap metal. Policies and procedures are in place for your safety. Failure to observe them could result in injury or death. Please be careful. When exiting the base, stop at the security office and card out. Please contact your facilitator if you have any questions regarding the information in this video.